Okay, now we're going to continue to go through journalizing transactions. So we're going to go ahead and journalize the transaction starting on page 63 in your textbook. The first one is paid cash for insurance, $1,200, check number 2. So with this, we're going to say the same thing we've always said, what two accounts are affected, and you see here in the T accounts, the two accounts that are affected are prepaid insurance and cash, because you paid cash for insurance. Your prepaid insurance goes up with a debit, and your cash goes down with a credit. So we already have the month and the year on the journal page, so we're just going to put the date, so the 4th. The account title that the account name that we're going to put in the account title column is going to be prepaid insurance. We don't have to put cash because cash has its own special amount column. Document number is going to be C2. Now the account title, the account name that's in the account title column is prepaid insurance, so that is going to be whatever happens to prepaid insurance is what we're going to put in the general amount columns, and our prepaid insurance is going to go up with a $1,200 debit, and cash is going to go down with a $1,200 credit. And moving on to the next one on page 64, and this one is bought supplies on account from Supply Depot, $500. Now, this one is different than the other ones. This one is going to take 2 lines, and I want you to see why. The 2 accounts that we're dealing with in this are supplies and accounts payable Supply Depot, because we're buying the supplies on account, so we're going to owe Supply Depot money. Now, supplies does not have a special amount column, and accounts payable Supply Depot does not have a special amount column. So both of those are going to have to go in general amount columns. So this is going to be the only transaction that you guys have that takes 2 lines. And on the first line you're going to put supplies, because you always put the debit first. And on the second line you're going to put accounts payable Supply Depot. You only put the date one time. You only put the document number one time. The document number is M1. The supplies is a debit of 500, not 5,000. And accounts payable, I'm just getting key happy here. I've got to fix this. Accounts payable is a credit of 500. So again, that is going to be the only transaction that I think you guys have. I'm certain that's going to be the only transaction that you guys have that takes 2 lines. So now we're going to go on to the next one, which is on page 65. And it is paid cash on account to Supply Depot, $300. So it happens on the 11th, so we're going to put the 11th in. We don't have to put the date, the month, or the year. And the 2 accounts that we're dealing with are accounts payable, Supply Depot, and cash, $300. Our cash is going to be decreased with a credit. Accounts payable, Supply Depot, is going to be decreased with a debit. So cash has its own special amount column, so what we're going to put in the account title column is accounts payable Supply Depot, and the document number is C3. C stands for check, so check number 3. So Supply Depot is going to be 300. Cash credit is going to be 300. And let's move on to the next one. We're going to go ahead and go to section 3.3 as well. We're going to cover 2 sections on Tuesday. Now with section 3.3, we're going to start getting into some sales and some expenses. So look on page 67, and the first transaction that we're dealing with is received cash from sales. Now just like this one on the 7th, we dealt with 2 accounts that had to have general amount columns. With this transaction, we received cash from sales, so the 2 accounts that we're dealing with are cash and sales. Both of those accounts have special amount columns. So we have no account name to put in the account title column. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a check mark in there. And let's see, what is this? A shake maybe? Is there a check mark? I don't even see a stinking check mark. Okay, well, let's just see if I can maneuver a check mark in there. Maybe. Maybe not. Okay, well, pretend there's a check mark there. Hang on, I think there's something I could do. Okay, square root was the closest I could find, so we're going to go with the square root. So, on the 12th, we have to put a check mark there, and in the document number, the source document for receive cash for sales is called a calculator tape. So since C is already taken for check, the abbreviation for it is just T, and it's T12 because it's calculator tape for whatever date it happened on. So we're going to have a sales credit of $295 and a cash debit of $295. Okay, and now we're going to go to page 68. This one is sold services on account to Oakdale School, $350, and it happened on the 12th. Now, we do have a 12th here, but it doesn't matter if you have 4 things that happen on the 12th. You're still going to put the date every time. So, sold services on account to Oakdale School. What 2 accounts are we dealing with? We're dealing with sales, which has a special amount column, and accounts receivable, Oakdale School, because now Oakdale School is going to owe us more money. So, we're going to put accounts receivable, Oakdale School, in the account title. And the document number is sales invoice 1, so we're going to put S1. And Oakdale School, their balance is going to increase with a debit, and our sales is going to increase with a credit. Okay, now we're going to go to pay cash for rent on page 69. And it also happened on the 12th. And so the 2 accounts that we're dealing with this one are cash and rent expense, because we have an expense whenever we pay for rent, it's rent expense. So we're going to put cash as a special amount column, so we're going to put rent expense in the account title. The document number is C4 because we paid for it with check number 4. Rent expense is going to go up with a debit of $300, so we're going to put that in the general amount debit column, and cash is going to go down with a credit, so we're going to credit cash in that cash credit column. And the next one is page 70, and it is receive cash on account from Oakdale School, $200. So, and it also happened on the 12th. I didn't even know when I said 412s that we might actually have them. So the 2 accounts we're dealing with, cash and accounts receivable, Oakdale School. So Oakdale is going to pay us back some money that they owe us, and cash has its own column. So the other account, we're going to put accounts receivable, Oakdale School. We put the source document number, which is R2 for receipt number 2. Now, our cash is going to go up with a debit, and accounts receivable, Oakdale School, is going to be decreased with a credit. So we're going to credit in the general credit column 200, and we're going to put 200 in the cash debit column. And we should just have one more on page 71. And this one is pay cash to owner for personal use, $125, and it's happening on the 12th. And the 2 accounts that we're dealing with are going to be the drawing account, because we see that catchphrase, cash to owner for personal use. So we're going to deal with Kim Park Drawing. And the other account we're going to deal with is cash, and it has its own column. This is check number 6. Now the Kim Park Drawing account is going to be increased with a debit of $125, and cash is going to be decreased with a credit of $125. So that's it. We're going to practice some more transactions on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday I will show you guys how to total the pages and start a new page and prove cash.